Hey everybody, Ray Ives, the pet of an underdog. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Again, the framework is to use my book, The Pet of an Underdog, to really go through and piece this all together. You know, the 7 parts, and just go through it. There is a shortcut. If you purchase the book, it's available on Amazon. Check it out. Here's the link. It's something that will surprise you. And again, I'm not trying to sell books. I'm really trying to help people and change life. So here we go. Part 2. This one is called Shared Wisdom from Entry Level. So I got to a point where I was confident in the role. I shortened the learning curve by pouring everything into educating myself. After university, after college, I was educating myself to learn this job. And how would I do that? How would I do that? It was understanding big picture. I had to step away just from like pulling data and looking at data and then handing it off, or, you know, creating that story. Essentially, I was working in grocery retail. And so basically I would follow all these things and ideas from the very beginning to the end. So I understood comprehensively how everything was working and what role the department that I worked in played in, and how that role folded up into the hierarchy. And then I realized something. You have to be able to get that bird's eye view. If you have that piece done, if you have that big picture, it's going to make the job a lot easier. And this is really what I want to share. I have it in 4 bullet points, but overall, I would say understand big picture, understand your role, how you make your boss's life easier, give information before it's necessary, start thinking, I don't want to say outside the box, start thinking forward. Start thinking forward. So here are the 4 bullet points. As a category analyst, I recorded this to share because it's transferable to any profession, any sector, is understand key performance metrics and why they exist. Everybody has a list of what they're trying to attain. Like salespeople are trying to maintain customers, add incremental items to current accounts, get new business, and then input some innovation, some new items. If you understand the key metrics, you're going to be in a good position. Become familiar. Number 2 is become familiar creating the success story they want. So understand the hierarchy. You report to your boss reports to their boss. That boss reports to somebody else. What are they all trying to accomplish? And it's intertwined together and glued together a lot of times by these metrics, but also reporting up, giving valuable information and valuable insights. So that was number 2. Number 3, think of solutions to their problems. Think of solutions to their problems. And number 4, contribute to simplify their jobs. Okay, so that's a lot there. And I have to also say this. So you want to go in and you want to understand the power of creating value for the people you work with, the people above you in the company. And you want to know those things. You want to know what they want before they want, and you want to give it to them. But there's also a fine balance. Navigating the corporate world, a set of standardized procedures, and you just can't make assumptions and say, take that and just start wildly going to the next phase and talking to people. You have to be diplomatic about it. You can't come over the top. You can't be a know-it-all. You can't be arrogant. It's this fine line, and every scenario is different. So I want to say those 4 things are very important, but it's also the application of that is how you present that to your boss, how you present it to people within your organization. That's the corporate world. That's the corporate world. And that's what I was learning. I knew how to create that value, but I was also particular with when and how to share it. And that's super important. Going back to big picture is the grocery retail world was fun to me, right? You think about a customer yourself as a customer. If you're going into a grocery store to buy groceries for your family, if you start there or even start before there, it's like, okay, how do the groceries get in there? If you're going to the in-store bakery and you're buying a tiramisu, you see the beautiful deep roasted espresso with mascarpone mousse and lady fingers, 100% whipped cream and chocolate shavings. Like that is a masterpiece. And a lot of people think like, okay, that just the grocery store created that. And that's not necessarily the truth. It's like the grocery store also doesn't, grow its own fruit or make its own toothbrushes. It's manufacturers are doing this. So you take it to the very beginning. You take it to the beginning when manufacturers, in my instance, were making cakes. So the cakes were manufactured and then they would get shipped frozen in a huge semi-truck to warehouses. And those warehouses either were privately owned or operated by, a third party. And from there, they would get stored. And as the demand for the product was coming through each individual region and each individual grocery store, it would get pulled from the warehouse and put into the individual grocery store. And then that would get sorted into each department so again, the in-store bakery. Then at that point, it's like, it's still not over. Products in the in-store bakery, cakes have to be cut, decorated, bread has to be baked. There are some thaw and sell options, but the whole thing is understanding it. And then getting a customer to come into that department, come into the in-store bakery, entice them, make it food theater, make it exciting. And once all that happens, the product has to be good enough for the customer to repeat purchase, to say, okay, I came to your grocery store instead of a competitor. I came to your department instead of a different department. I bought a product, and does that product give me the warm and fuzzies to buy it again, repeat purchase? And once all of that is figured out, then the grocery store or, corporations will basically copy paste. And that's the machine from like 30,000 feet. It's like a choreographed dance recital of production, distribution, merchandising. And for me, as like I said, the underdog, or no longer the underdog, was starting to piece this information together. And it was just out of this world how I could relate my former life to where I was now. And I was on pace to fulfill my goals. To become a category analyst in a Fortune 52 company I was always grateful for that. And I know I worked hard, and that's the point. And the point also is that the education never stops. Once, you have your apprenticeship, or you have college, or you have your residency, whatever job you're in, it just doesn't stop there. That's what some people mistake it. It's like it's a continuous improvement of life, of personality, of skills, of knowledge, of psychology, relationships, everything. It just keeps going. It just doesn't stop. And so that was my education, not only the university education, but the education of having these opportunities as a huge company and just keeping them moving forward. So Ray Ives, The Pen of an Underdog, more to follow. Check out the book. The Pen of an Underdog. It's on Amazon, and I think you'll really be surprised of what it does for you.